And a Department of Justice investigation into the Fulton County Jail finds rampant violence, filthy pest-infected conditions, and detainees who are neglected and hungry.
Detention in the Fulton County Jail has amounted to a death sentence for dozens of people who have been murdered or who died as a result of the atrocious conditions inside the facility.
We have a look at that new report alleging civil rights violations that date back years and the new response from the sheriff and county leaders.
And that is our top story tonight at 6 o'clock. The Justice Department releasing the findings of a nearly 2-year investigation today into the Fulton County Jail. The report says Fulton County and the sheriff's office failed to protect detainees. Officers often used excessive force and they subjected people to unsanitary and dangerous living conditions. 11 Alive's Grace King joining us live from Rice Street. And Grace, there has been a back and forth now over whether Fulton County actually needs a new jail facility. So what does this report have to say about that point?
Well, the Fulton sheriff says this is a moot point because they're making renovations, but the DOJ says they don't think they actually need a new jail as long as they make changes and make changes quickly. Right now, the DOJ believes there are inmates living in filth with a lack of basic necessities and a lack of safety.
The most obvious casualties of the civil rights violations occurring in the jail are those who leave the jail in body bags.
A new Justice Department report sounding the alarm on, quote, inhumane, violent, and hazardous conditions inside these walls.
2023 alone, there were over 1,000 assaults and more than 300 stabbings.
U.S. Attorney Ryan Buchanan says those figures are nearly double the national average, creating life and death scenarios before people even go to trial.
Detainees in the Fulton County Jail lack basic necessities like working toilets and sinks, and are exposed to flooding, standing water, mold, and what can only be described as filth.
Buchanan shared stories he described as shocking.
In one shocking case, while an officer sat in an observation tower, a man was killed with his hands and his feet bound. It's not found until his body was extremely cold.
But these stories are no surprise to Georgia's NAACP president, Attorney Gerald Griggs.
We all know what happened in the jail. We were looking for the DOJ to take action that is concrete.
Griggs says his team helped connect the DOJ with families affected by the jail conditions.
There's a systemic issue that's happening at the jails, happening over and over and over and over again. And we should not have pretrial detainees going into the jail and coming out in body bags.
He's glad the report is now public, but worries it won't be enough.
My concern is that the DOJ did not file any action, both on the civil side or the criminal side, to force that type of change, where they could have consent decrees or somebody held accountable for what happened in the jail.
And while the DOJ might not be able to force those changes, Griggs hopes state lawmakers or even federal lawmakers might get involved to propose some legislation that would ensure this situation doesn't happen here or anywhere else. Live in Fulton County, Grace King, 11 Alive News.
All right, Grace, thank you so much. Meanwhile, Fulton County officials responding to the report late this afternoon. Chairman Rob Pitts and Sheriff Pat Labatt said they have been anticipating the release of this report. The sheriff says they've been handed a list of more than 100 improvements to make, and they've already started working on some of them, like lowering the jail population and updating use of force reporting. Brett.
None of this is new. This is decade-old problems, some that predate certainly the chairman and I relationship. But ultimately, it also said, and it was also pointed out very, very poignantly, these are fixable opportunities. And so that's what our plan is as we get ready to move forward.
The sheriff saying some of these items will take time. Sheriff Lott says his office is ready to work with the facility that they have. The county has approved $300 million in renovations for the Rice Street Jail. You can watch full comments from the sheriff and Fulton County Commission Chairman Rob Pitts on 11 Alive Plus. We also have the DOJ's full breakdown of their report also streaming right now. Just search 11 Alive on your streaming device to watch for free.